Alright, I think we're live. That's good. Just getting this set up. So, good morning, very thin. It is freezing here in England, although it looks very sunny, so I figured why not do a nice climb instead of going outside. So, let me just make sure everything's set up alright. I'm not sure what my what is it called? Trainer difficulty set on. Okay, in the middle, that's fine. Alright, so we're going to do Covadonga today. This is just a very relaxing endurance ride, and I figured why not just, live stream it, because that means I sort of have to finish it. Otherwise, I would definitely not. I'd probably get bored halfway through and then give up. So, going to try and average around 200 watts, I think. So it's quite long. I reckon if I do that sort of power, it'll be around 90 minutes, which is a nice length for a chill endurance session. So it should be quite good. Yeah, that sucks when your bike is in the shop, doesn't it? So yeah, not ideal. I'm currently trying to fix my, not fix, they're just being a bit rubbish, but my rear brakes are really loud and squeaky, so I bought some new brake pads, and then I squeezed them while I didn't have the pads in, and then the pistons came out, so I need to fix all that. That's my job after this, so that's going to be a fun day. Alright, I'm not sure where this climb actually starts. Haven't done a climb portal for ages. I think I only did one actually. Alright, let me put some tunes on. And something relaxing for a nice, easy zone 2 climb. Right, where does this start? Oh, is this the lead-in still? That's a bit annoying, I thought it would jump straight in. Alright, let me turn my fans on. Shouldn't need them on too high. Oh, it's actually so cold today. I missed the summer already. Alright, we must be getting to the start pretty soon. Ooh, it's chilly. Oh. Alright, so, gonna try and average 200 watts up the climb. Nice and chill. Keep the heart rate below, 140 maybe? I think that's my zone 2. So yeah, it should be good. And then, after this, I'm gonna head to the gym. And then I guess I should actually do some work. But get all the fitness stuff out of the way first. That's the way to do it. Whew. I changed my stem as well. I was running a 90mm stem and I felt a bit cramped, so I put my old stem back on, which is 100mm. So I feel like I can get lower. Well, not get lower, just get a bit further away, because my elbows always hit my knees, which is, it still happens now, even with the slightly longer stem, but it's just not ideal. I feel like I have really long arms, so it makes sense to have a longer stem. Alright, here we go. 976 meters of elevation. This won't be too bad. Just take it nice and easy. All about slow and steady. Just burning the fat. Getting stronger slowly. Alright, here we go. Gotta love a good climb. Alright, let's put the power up a bit higher. Alright, get up to 200 and just settle in. Are you still on a TT bike? Yeah, I think I am. Let's change that quickly before we go any further, because that'll make it take a lot longer. I don't even know what sort of bike is good anymore. That's the shop. How do I see? Oh, my garage. That's what I want to do, isn't it? I guess we're climbing. Let's go with something light. Trecamonda, that'll do. Weight. Which one of my wheels have the best weight? This one, by the looks of it. Alright, good eyes. Very good eyes. Right, time to actually climb. On my proper climbing bike. Oh, this is gonna take ages and it's gonna be so boring. I guess in a way, the boredom is part of the mental challenge. Oh. I want to keep the RPM around 90, maybe 95. Don't want to get bogged down on a low gear. There we go, the heart rate's starting to go up now, 130. So we've got a banana, 2 bananas. I'm going to have one at 30 minutes, the other at 60 minutes. Always good to eat something, I guess, during this, but it's not an intense ride, so I'm not going to have a like 2-pound gel. So bananas all the way. So on Tuesday, it was the Zwift team time trial in the Zwift Racing League, which was actually pretty good fun. My team Cryogen, we came 6th out of 8, which, considering we have never ridden together, is not too bad. We were like 2 minutes slower than the quickest team, so really it was quite a solid effort. In the next race, next Tuesday, there's a few sprint segments, which I hope will be quite good for me. I'm more of a sprinter, definitely not a climber. So hopefully next Tuesday's race will go well. It's a 6-week series. So what is it now? September? I guess it goes to the end of October. And then I think there's a few weeks off, and then it's round 2. Another 6 weeks on. So overall, the event seems pretty cool. Should be quite fun. It's definitely a different dynamic when you're working with a team rather than just on your own. That's quite cool, being able to like chat with your teammates and stuff like that. So today I was in the car, had to fill up, and I was absolutely raging. So you know, as you drive into the petrol station, you look, see who's there, see if someone's just getting out of the car to go in and pay. So that's what I saw. There was a woman who got out her car. I was like, she won't be very long. She'll go in, pay for her petrol, come out. So I went behind her, and I shit you not, she took like 10 minutes in the petrol station. No idea what she was doing, but it just annoyed me. It's like, you're filling up your car, why do you need to do your whole weekly shop in the petrol station? It's just annoying. So yeah, that wound me up this morning. Like, petrol stations shouldn't sell things. You should just get your petrol and then go. That should be how it works. If you want to go shopping, go into the supermarket, which is right next to it. Don't block the petrol station for everyone else. Alright, that's my morning rant over. How's everyone else doing? Bright and early this morning. What's the time? 8:50 in the UK. Yeah, I was hoping to get this done a bit earlier, but you know, my morning has been ruined by the petrol station experience. Went to Sainsbury's, the ultimate supermarket. Actually, I'm not even sure which supermarket is the best in the UK. Normally I go to Tesco, just because it's more convenient for me, but I decided to mix it up and go to Sainsbury's. God, this is a thrilling monologue about supermarkets, isn't it? What you all tune in for. But they say Zone 2 on the bike is a place where you can comfortably talk. So if I keep talking, I'm definitely in Zone 2. So I guess it's quite a good way of doing it. Craig, good morning. How are you doing? Alright, heart rate 134. It's pretty nice. Nice Zone 2 one. You don't want to make it go over 140 really, so keep hitting it nice and steady. If anyone wants to hop in, join me up this climb, it would be pretty nice. I'm not going very fast, so it's a nice accessible ride for everyone. It's a bit of an impulsive one this morning. For, you know, if I'm going to climb up the mountain, might as well do it for everyone else to watch the suffering. Otherwise I'll definitely just give up halfway. You know how these Zone 2 rides are. You just sort of zone out, don't you? It's just the most boring thing, Zone 2. Especially, you know, everyone knows it's boring, so it is what it is. Our team time trial tonight. Are you doing that in the Zwift Racing League as well? Or is that just something, a different series? Oh no, I'm on my biggest gear. That's not ideal. I thought I had a few more to drop down into. But no, it seems I've run out of big gears, or little gears. Is a little gear a harder gear or an easier gear? I'm not sure. Alright, every week on Thursdays. That's pretty cool. Did not know about that. Despite spending a lot of time on Zwift, I don't really keep up to date with all the events and stuff. Oh, this bit's steep. I've got it on 50% trainer difficulty, and I'm feeling it. Would definitely be struggling if this was 100% trainer difficulty. But I think we're almost going to be at the first gate. I don't know what you call it, but there's a big 9 over there, so maybe that's 10%. The Zwift Club has 10 teams. That's a pretty big team. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Whew. Alright, let's see if I can get my average power over 200 by the top of this climb. At the moment it's a 173, so not too bad. 11 minutes in. I'm doing these climbs because I want to get the special bike you get for climbing 50,000 meters, the Tron bike. So I figure if I'm going to do some zone 2 work, I might as well do it up climb. I weighed myself yesterday and I was 99.4. Last week I was 100.3. So this week I've lost about a kilogram. So it's going pretty well this week. But I weigh myself every morning, and honestly it's so weird. It just goes up and down and up and down. It's not consistent at all. So yeah, weight loss is something very weird. Oh, my power's dropping down a bit. I need to be careful, keep it up over 200. A lot of the fluctuation is water weight. Yeah, that's definitely true. Some days I'm like a kilogram lighter, and the next day I put it all back on. So it's all about looking at the trend, isn't it? Like, give it a month. If your average line is going down, then it's a good thing. Definitely shouldn't get fixated on the weight every day, otherwise you go mad. $842 meters to go. What a wonderful day. A wonderful way to spend the morning climbing up on Zwift. Yeah, 1.5 kilograms is a lot to fluctuate. I don't think I've ever had that much. Mine's normally less than a kilogram, but still it makes sense, doesn't it? I guess if it were easy to lose weight, everyone would do it. Everyone would be ripped. Oh wow, we've got 11 people, 11 concurrent viewers. It's pretty impressive. So what is everyone up to this morning? Are you all in England? Is it 9 AM for everyone? Pretty interesting to see where everyone's from. Yeah, definitely depends on how much riding you're doing. American in Poland here. Poland, that's 1 hour, 2 hours ahead maybe? What is it, like 11 AM there? Maybe 10 AM? I know France is 1 hour ahead of England, so I guess Poland's a bit more across, so maybe that's 2 hours. 1 hour ahead, okay. Oh, someone from the Netherlands, so 10 AM here. What's the weather like in Holland at the moment, or Netherlands? What's the difference between Netherlands and Holland? I always just say Holland, but it's not right, is it? Trying to fix bugs. So are you like a software engineer or something? Martin working from home. Belgian over here. 1 hour time difference, let's go. Big morning climb, yeah, you're right, Ryan. Gotta be done. All about just chilling in zone 2, get this boring long climb done, but it's a lot more entertaining when we've got everyone in the chat. Jonka, good morning from sunny Slovakia. That's interesting. Slovakia's like one of those countries you hear about, but To be honest, I don't know anything about Slovakia. What's it like in Slovakia? Holland is technically 2 provinces, North and South Holland. Netherlands is the entire country. Oh, interesting. I never knew that either. Who knew that this morning would be all about learning about geography? All the cool people are here. Slovakia, kick-ass for cycling. Nice. Definitely need to put that on the list then. Slovakia, is that where Peter Sagan is from? I always mix those up, Slovakia and Slovenia. I know Slovenia is Pogačar and Roglic, but Sagan, Slovakia, isn't he? Weather pretty good compared to yesterday's rain and hail, still windy. It's very sunny here, but cold. Very cold actually. I'm sure Ryan knows because I'm pretty sure he lives like an hour up the road from where I am. Alright, this average power's gone up by a couple of watts. Heart rate 142, keeping it nice and steady. Not too bad at all. Yeah, it's definitely chilly, isn't it? But it tricks you because you look out the window and like, it's a lovely day, nice and sunny, but oh, it's just not nice, is it? Summer's definitely over. You know, it's a load of Brits when all we talk about is the weather. 11 degrees, next week we'll be back to 24. 24, that would be nice, wouldn't it? I wish it were 24 here. Although it was like that last week. New Jersey, USA. Welcome, Thomas. What's it like in New Jersey? Is New Jersey near New York? Is that what they used to always joke about on like Friends? It's like, you're not from New York, you're from New Jersey or something. Mark got a 90-kilometer ride. Oh, Qinhuangdao. That's across from where I used to live in Qingdao. 24 degrees. That does sound nice. Pre-ride muesli. What's the time in China? It's 7-8 hours ahead? Yeah, that must be like 5 PM there. Not bad. Not a bad evening. 4 PM. Yeah, you're right, it's good Zwift weather. Yesterday I made a mistake of wearing my summer gear and going outside, but then 5 minutes in I was like, nah, screw this, going back home. Central Slovakia is very, very mountainous, beautiful if you have great legs, or an e-bike, yeah. So, New Jersey's the next state south of New York. Interesting. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so I have one warm winter jersey, which is quite a nice one, which I spent a bit of money on actually. It's a Rafa one. And last week, the Tour of Britain came to a town near me. So I took my really nice winter jersey and tried to get it signed by some of the pro cyclists. So I actually got a few signatures. I didn't get Remco, which is the main one I was trying to do, but I got Tom Pidcock to sign it. I think it was Ethan Hayter, another Ineos guy. Who else was there? I think it was a Norwegian guy, the guy with really cool hair, like long blonde hair. I can't remember his name. And a few more. Anyway, I got my nice winter jersey signed by all of them, so now obviously I'm never going to use that one again, so I now need to buy a nice new winter jersey. The reason I used that one is because it had no like writing on it, so it was nice and clear spot for them to sign. So yeah, that's going to get framed when I get a few more signatures in it. I'm going to do a big box and save that space for Pogačar in case I ever meet him. Maybe I should get 3 boxes. One for Pogačar, maybe one for Vingegaard, and one for Remco. And then all the other cyclists I ever meet can just go anywhere. So there's a 200-kilometer loop in Poland / Slovakia. That does sound good, to be honest. I imagine those sort of places aren't full of cyclists either. It's not like Mallorca, where I imagine you go there and it's just packed full of cyclists. I guess these places are a bit more off the radar, aren't they? 5.8 watts per kilogram. What's your average cadence? Normally I try to aim for around 90, but if I'm really going for it, I'll probably go like 95. So I try not to get down to like 80 or 70 unless it's either really steep or I'm sprinting, I guess. I think they recommend between 90 to 95, otherwise you can do your knees in if you do it for ages. Or at least that's what I read. I'm no expert either. I remember when I started Zwifting years ago, I used to pedal around 70 as well. But they say a faster cadence moves the effort from your leg muscles onto your lungs, so it's supposed to be more sustainable. Well, that's what they say anyway. Not sure how true it is. Yeah, I think anything above 90 and you'll be good. Ryan, how is your Ribble, your outdoor bike? I saw your video on that one, but yeah, I was thinking of getting my girlfriend one as well, but her issue is it has to be a very specific colour. Like, she shouldn't care at all about anything else about the bike, it's just got to be a nice colour. A very solid bike, good to hear. They're quite good value as well, aren't they, Ribble? I don't think they rip you off like some of the other brands. I was looking at some of the more racier bikes, and those ones, you know, you've got to be spending like 3 or 4k at minimum, which is just like, I'm not going to do that. It helps that Ryan looks damn good on it too. Very true. Oh, average powers up to 185. I'll tell you what, reading this chat makes the time go so much quicker. Yeah, the custom paint jobs on Ribble look really, really nice. Yeah, and made in England as well. Can't go wrong with that. I was looking at getting like a Chinese frame, but by the time you take into consideration like the shipping, getting all the parts for it, it works out about the same price as just buying a bike, so that idea was short-lived. If I knew you would go live, I would have joined you. It's alright, you can hop on. I'm sure you'd catch me by the end anyway. There's loads to go on this climb. If you want chat and riding on Zwift, there's a great Saturday 100-kilometer endurance ride. Okay, that does sound pretty chill. So do you all get on Discord and just chat on that then? The weight loss looks good on you. Thank you very much. Still about 15 kilograms higher than I'd like to be. But it's a nice, slow process. All about just consistency, isn't it? Alright, Thomas, take care. Enjoy the grind. Still got work to do, fair enough. Yeah, I've got to do some work after this. Luckily, working from home, so I can sort of structure the day however I want, which is always quite nice. Have you found you lose power the more weight you lose? To be honest, not really. They say, well, the internet says, because I spend way too much time reading about stuff like this, that you'll probably lose a bit of sprint power just because you don't have the mass to put into it, but I don't think you'd lose much in terms of threshold power or anything like that, because, well, you're just losing fat, aren't you? I don't think you'd be losing much muscle. unless you literally stop eating and stop exercising. In that case, you probably would lose a bit of power. But if you're still riding, I can't imagine you'd lose any power. Doesn't really make much sense, does it? I've been hitting the gym as well, so I'm hoping to gain some power as well. Been doing the good old squats and deadlifts, a bit of bench press as well. Got to get big, shredded for summer. That's the goal. Summer next year, 6-pack. Yeah, I guess for the sprint, it's literally just, you know, you're heavier so you can push more power, isn't it? But the other stuff, yeah, makes sense that you'd gain a bit even. Oh, this is getting a bit steep. 15%. Really bogging down here. Alright, I'm 30 minutes in. Time to have my banana. Sun's out, guns out, exactly. Mark knows. A lot of times, even when still training and losing weight, you'll lose a bit of power. But if you do some strength training, that can be avoided. Very good. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Watts per kilogram still goes up because you lose a lot more fat than muscle, definitely. I found it very hard to do the amount of cycling I do and weightlifting. Yeah, it probably is quite difficult, isn't it? I think the most important thing is just making sure, well, the most important thing for me anyway, is making sure you time your eating quite well. So if I'm going to the gym, I will make sure I eat something good for breakfast, and after the gym I'll eat something quite substantial anyway as well, because if you don't do that then you'll just be running on empty. So I just make sure I eat around the training, to be honest. Like if I have a rest day, I'll eat a bit less, but on those days when you're training quite hard, just make sure to eat a lot of protein, I guess. 2 days after a hard weight session, I'm still feeling the legs. Yeah, that's just how it is, isn't it? I feel like the first few times you go to the gym, it's just brutal, isn't it? Like the first leg day, barely walk the day after. But in a strange way, I feel like doing your cardio, especially if it's like a really easy spin on the bike, makes the post-leg day pain a bit less. I'm not sure if that's actually true, but that's what I found. Like I'll do leg day, then do like 20 minutes super easy on just like the gym bike, and just sort of flushes all the pain out. Winter, I hope to get back to lifting. Yeah, it's quite better to lift in the winter, isn't it, I guess? Got to smash enough post-ride protein. Yeah, very true. Very, very true. Trying to get at least like 200 grams of protein in a day, minimum. So far it's going alright. I've managed to stick to it for almost 3 weeks now. Dom's after 5, I'm 5. At 100 kilograms plus sucks. Yeah, I can imagine. I'm doing, I used to do 5x5 years ago. I never got the bench press that high, but I got squats and deadlifts pretty good. I've never actually been that strong in the upper body. But for deadlifts, I think my record for deadlifts when I was, God, it must have been like 22 at that point. I think I did like 155 or something. That was for deadlifts, and then a bit lower for squats. And I think for bench, the highest I ever got was like 80 kilograms. So yeah, I was lagging a bit behind on upper body. But 5x5 is exhausting. But you know how it is when you're younger, you just sort of eat and put on muscle, don't you? 150 on squats and deadlifts, that is pretty big. I guess at some point, yeah, it would start hurting your back unless you have like an exceptionally strong core. Yeah, I could never squat that much. My squat form is really bad because one of my ankles doesn't bend like it should because I hurt myself as a kid, so I've got like a metal ankle, so it's not very flexible. So I can never go very heavy on squats. But normally I just do leg press instead. Alright, we're doing pretty well here, about a third of the way through the climb. Not too bad at all. Legs feeling, well, they're feeling a bit tired, but nothing too bad. 185 watts average, keeping it just where I want it to be. Heart rate is a bit high. I really should bring that down to less than 140. But as long as I'm still chatting away, I think it's okay. This climb is long, I'll tell you that much. I think it's pretty much the same as the Alpe de Zwift. Maybe like 100 meters shorter, but still, it just goes on and on, doesn't it? It would be very nice to go to France or Spain or whatever and do some of these climbs in real life. The biggest one I've ever done in real life was, I think 500, no, maybe 400 meters high. Nothing like any of these ones, which are over 1,000, but yeah, it's definitely so much harder in real life. No, putting your trainer difficulty down so you can just spin. In real life, you've got to get down to like 60 RPMs on the real steep sections. Get out of the seat for it, my bottom is hurting. Yeah, the post-ride appetite is definitely something that is quite hard to manage, isn't it? I find if I eat during the ride, it's a lot easier to control. Like, I'll always try to have a couple of gels or something, and it makes a huge difference. Otherwise, I'll just eat whatever there is. Thinking of which, I think I have a Scotch egg in the fridge for lunch, so that's what I'm looking forward to. Did elevation evaluation last week. Yeah, that is a hard one as well. A max effort up there is brutal, but it's good fun. It's much more interesting than doing an actual FTP test, I find. Like a 20-minute FTP test is boring, but for some reason going up a climb is fun, I guess. Alright, I think we're levelling off a bit here. No? 11%, 12%? Ah, not nice. Easier to record a decent FTP up a hill. Yeah, I agree with that, definitely. Trying to do it outside on the flat is brutal. Alright, only 598 meters to go. Getting there. This is a good sesh so far. 433 calories down. Hopefully I'll break at least 1,000 calories for this. Be able to have something nice for a late breakfast. Got some smoked salmon in the fridge. I'll put that on toast, I reckon. Yummy. $290 FTP. That's pretty decent, isn't it? Not bad at all. It's better than me. I was 283. At 75 kilograms, yeah. That's almost, what, 4 watts per kilogram? That's not bad at all. Again. Pretty much maxed on weight loss. Yeah, I mean, I wish I was anywhere near that. 183 at 75 kilograms. Not bad. Casually checking your phone at 8%. Well, I've got it on 50% trainer difficulty, so it's only 4% really. I don't have the gearing to go up this anywhere near a reasonable cadence. I've only got a 30 on the back and a 40 at the front. So So yeah, definitely not a good climbing setup, because here in England you just don't need a big gear really. The longest climb I've got around here lasts about 2 minutes. So yeah, I went for 1 by on the front, 40 tooth chainring, which is very small for 1 by, but I spin out at like 45 kilometers an hour, and the only time I'm ever going that fast is if I'm going downhill and I'm not even pedaling anyway. So yeah, figured that would make more sense. Right, let's get out of the seat a bit, use some different muscles. Whew. Legs are starting to get tired. Ambitious even for the UK. Well, I'm in the flattest part of the UK in East Anglia, so legit no climbs whatsoever. How's the new trainer? Lots of training and planning. Curious to see what a personal trainer brings. Yeah, so he was really good when I was training for the half Ironman. He planned it all out, planned all the sessions, managed to balance it around what I was doing in real life as well. So definitely very good. Like with the triathlon, it's 3 different sports, so quite hard to balance all of it together, especially the swimming. Like I was not good at swimming, so yeah, I think I would definitely recommend it if you're training for a triathlon. Maybe if you're just doing cycling, you might be able to do it on your own, but for me, it really made a difference with the balancing all 3 sports. So I think it's pretty good. He's a really nice guy as well. It's called Costa from, he's from the Ukraine, but lives in Germany. I think he's training some other YouTubers at the moment. If you know the other Zwift, not Tadej Pogacar, I think his channel's called. I think he's being trained by the same guy. And from what I've seen from his channel, he thinks he's a pretty good trainer as well. So yeah, definitely worth looking into as well. I mean, if you've reached a sort of level that and you're sort of like stagnating, it's probably a good way to get a couple extra % out of yourself as well. Ego version of the little ring. I did buy a 2x setup, but I just couldn't get it to work properly because it's a SRAM Rival E-Tap, and whenever it would shift really well, like the front ring would shift properly, like it would go up and down fine, but whenever I was in the smallest gear at the back and the big chainring on the front, whenever I would sprint, it would just fall off. So I tried for weeks to try and get it to work, and then I just gave up. Bought a single chainring solution and some gravel wheels, so yeah, I couldn't be bothered to deal with it. I'd die on a tri event. You need to fish me out of the water. That's how I felt when I first started swimming. Like just doing 1 or 2 lengths in the pool would leave me ruined. But a couple of months and I was pretty good at it, I think. I managed to do the 1500 meter swim in open water, which is pretty scary, but I managed it. Hello, all the way from New Zealand. Oh wow. I used to live in New Zealand when I was like 10. My mum got a job out there, so we spent a year living in Dunedin, which was pretty cool. Don't really remember much of it, but I've got the pictures to prove I was there. But from what I do remember, it was pretty nice. It just seemed like England with fewer people. I think stagnating is, yeah, gains always come harder, don't they? I remember when I first started cycling, I went from like 200 watts to like 250 in months. But now I'm at 280. So yeah, it's all about just putting in the work, isn't it? Being efficient with the time you've got, I guess. You're talking off of New Jersey, the website Sport Pursuit is cheap. Never heard of that one before. Let me have a look. Sport Pursuit. Okay, this looks pretty good. Sport Pursuit. It says I need to put in an email address. Okay, I'll do it later. Have a proper look. This is good motivation. Currently injured. Hope you get better soon. Yeah, it's always horrible when you're injured, isn't it? Just living through other people's exercise. Yeah. I'm quite lucky actually. I don't really get injured that much. I mean, I got injured once, like when I was 16, I broke my leg. That's the only injury I've ever really had. But apart from that, I've been pretty injury-free throughout my life. Delivery times look longer than normal. It's a mainland Europe website. Okay. Well, if it's cheaper, then it's worth the wait. All I wanted was like a proper winter jersey for when it starts getting really cold here. So hopefully we've still got another month or two before that's the case. Alright, let's get out the saddle for a bit. Alright, getting to halfway. Starting to feel it in the legs, definitely. Alright, it's still an hour almost. It's a pretty long ride. $50% of retail price, that's not bad. I'll definitely have to check that out. I think for gaining on like the 1 to 5 minute power, you just got to keep doing those intervals, don't you, I guess? I'm no trainer, I don't really know, but I figure that's what it must be. 20 watts in your 5 minutes, that's not bad at all. So I was looking at bikes to buy once I reach my goal weight of 85 or 80, depending on how I'm feeling. But bikes are so expensive. I wanted to get like a proper aggressive race bike. Like currently I'm on a Trek Domane, which is an endurance bike. So I was looking at like Trek, Madones, Canyon, Aeroads, those sort of things. But they're just so expensive, aren't they? So I thought I might start saving up for one of those, and then when I get down to a good weight, treat myself to a nice bike. See how much difference it actually makes compared to my aluminium one. But I'm worried that I might get disappointed if it's like no different whatsoever. I spent like loads of money on a bike. Oh, this is getting steep. 14? Bloody hell. Any places close where you can take a bike for a test ride? I've not really looked into it, to be honest. I'm sure if you go to like a proper brick and mortar bike shop, I don't know if they let you do it. I mean, I've only ever bought bikes online, so I'm not sure if taking them for a test ride is even a thing. Very nice bikes on the group rides. Not quicker, but look much better. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? If you have a really expensive bike, and then there's like a guy dropping you on like a £200 bike, that's just... I'm not sure my ego could handle that. So I need to have the legs to be worthy of a good bike first. Alright, we're getting there. 450 meters to go. An hour in. Shimano lets you test ride. Yeah, I imagine they'd just be very worried that you crash the bike or something. Especially when these bikes are like £5,000, something ridiculous. Dropping the e-bikes up the hill. Whew. Yeah, I think we're quite far from doing that. I need to get some new bibs as well. The ones I'm currently wearing are a bit rubbish. These are ones I got in China. They're called Monton Sports. But yeah, I think they're a bit rubbish. Like, they don't provide much comfort whatsoever. The best ones I got were the Rafa and Lecole ones, but I left my Rafa ones out, and the cat ended up like scratching all the seams, so those ones got ruined. The Lecole ones, they were fine. They're just getting old now, so they've lost all their squidginess. So it's just like sitting on a really hard thing, I guess. Some direct customer brands like Ribble you can buy and try. Okay. And then I guess send them back if you don't like it. That's pretty good. The trick is to use them for a drafted last 50 meters and then do a 400 watt bomb on them. Yeah, because e-bikes are limited, aren't they? I think you only get like 200 watts of power out of an e-bike, something like that. What sort of watch? This is a Garmin Fenix 7 X Pro, something like that. Basically, it's the big Garmin Fenix 7. It's pretty good. I got it on discount, and then I sold my old watch as well. So I only ended up spending like £200 on it once I took into account selling the old one. So yeah, it's not bad. Use it for running, swimming, pretty much everything, and it does all your health features as well. So pretty cool. I'm mostly riding Decathlon bibs. Yeah, Decathlon is really good, isn't it? I need to go to Decathlon, try some of them out. I don't really want to be spending like £100 on bibs. It's just something I don't really need in my life right now. ASOS. Yeah, those are supposed to be really good, aren't they? I think those are some of the best ones you can get. I was looking at a brand called Red White, I think it is, but the only thing they sell is bibs. So I figured if your company is literally just selling bibs, then it must be a pretty good pair. Apparently they're used by people who do bike packing and bike touring and stuff. So supposedly, according to what I read, they have a really good chamois. Yeah, 6 hours into an 8-hour ride, you'll wish you spent more than 50 on a pair of bibs. Yeah, I can believe that. For sure. Fortunately, I very rarely ride that long. Oh my god, 21%. This is dragging. I think it's actually quite counterintuitive. You'd think for indoor riding, you can get away with a cheap pair of bibs. But I think it's even more important inside, because you don't really move around as much, do you? So it's always the same part of your bottom hitting the seat. So I think it's even more important to get a good pair of bibs if you're just riding inside. Ooh, back down to a nice manageable 11%. Very glad I didn't have this on 100% trainer difficulty. Right, time for my second banana. Bananas are just nature's energy gel. Mark making us all jealous that he lives near the beach. Enjoy your ride. It's better than being inside, that's for sure. Alright, 380 meters to go. The relentless climb. Only 7 kilometers to go. Yeah, I think bibs need to be really quite tight, don't they? I remember the first set of nice bibs I got were the Cole ones, and they were way too tight, but I forced them on anyway and I went for a ride and they ripped along the seams, and then I emailed them moaning about it and they sent me a new pair, which is quite nice of them because it wasn't really my fault that they broke. But I guess when you're paying like £150 for a pair of bibs, you need to have good service, otherwise you just go somewhere else. And because of that, I ended up spending way more money at the Cole than I probably should have. Oh, this is dragging now. Anything over an hour and it just gets boring inside, doesn't it? Whew. Whew. 16%, why can't it just chill out? What was your very first FTP? I think it was around 200. I remember I did Alp the Zwift as like the first video I ever made on YouTube that did really well. Actually, I still think that's my best video. For some reason that just blew up. And I did I think it was 200 watts for 90 minutes up out the Zwift. So presumably that was like a month or two into Zwifting. It must have been lower than that to begin with, probably like 180 or something. That must have been, what, 2.5 years ago now? Damn, time flies. But I was at like 100 kilograms, so 200 FTP isn't that impressive when you're carrying that much weight, is it? Because it's 2 watts per kilogram. Not particularly impressive. First FTP test is never good, yeah. I think the first one I did was a ramp test. But yeah, still, when you first start out, there's like no endurance in your legs whatsoever. It's quite impressive how quickly the body adapts. Alright, we're getting there. 325 meters to go. .5 years after serious cycling was 220. I mean, that's not bad, is it? Considering. Then I did it a week later and got 240. Still, yeah, pretty good. Oh, my power's dropping off a bit. I need to up that. Oh, I just want this to be over. It just drags, doesn't it? Kind of tempted to just smash it up the rest of this climb, because then it'll be over quicker. But this is supposed to be endurance, not anything else. Literally just want to keep my heart rate low, burn a whole load of calories, which I'm then gonna eat as soon as I get off the bike. So yeah, after this I'm gonna head to the gym. I think it's a back day today, I'm not sure. And then come back and do some work. Another day looking at a spreadsheet. Thrilling stuff. Oh, I think we go downhill in a little bit. I presume blue means downhill. Late start to a work day, yeah. Advantage of working from home. Just got to be, you know, make sure you do the bare minimum. Blue means less than 3%. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. 4% now, 3%. Yeah. A nice bit of respite. I took my headset off yesterday and like lubed it all up. and did the same with the cranks. It was squeaking, so I thought I'd better do some maintenance on it, and as of today it's still squeaking, so God knows what the problem is. I think it might be the pedals. Maybe that can be the weekend's job. Stop the squeaking. Like whenever you start working on a bike, it just starts at one place and then you find other things that needs doing and just goes on forever. Hey Jarrod, when are you going to race head to head against Ryan? I mean, I'm waiting for the challenge. Whenever he sends it out, I'm good. Nah. Ryan, I think, if it's a hilly course, he'll probably beat me. I think Ryan said he weighs like 90 kilograms, so he's got a good 10 kilograms less than me, so I reckon he could probably win if it's a very hilly course. If it's flat, I'd like to think I might be able to win, but it would be quite good. Ryan lives like up the road from where I do. Maybe one day I should just ride out to his house with a camera and be like, what's up? But that's a bit creepy, isn't it? Oh, my legs are starting to feel it a bit now. An hour and 10 minutes at 187 watts. Whew. Long. What country are you living in now? England. I live near, sort of halfway between Cambridge and Ipswich, in the countryside, in the middle of nowhere. It's a nice change from the crowdedness of living in a Chinese city. Very, very different indeed. It's actually nice to like ride here in England. So quiet on the roads. Not like in China where people overtake you with like 2 feet of space and living on the edge every time. Oh, you're in Kent. That is nice. It's quite hilly there, isn't it? I imagine there's some quite nice climbs in Kent. Yeah, a bit jealous of that, to be honest. Here in the east of England, it's just flat everywhere. The only thing I miss about living in China actually is there were some pretty big sustained climbs where I used to live. But here, if you want a proper climb, you've got to come on Zwift. Only downside of it, everything else I much prefer England. Lots of short, sharp climbs, but no big ones, yeah. Same here, like, you might get like 10%, but it's over in like 20 seconds. What do you do for work if you don't mind me asking, Zwifting in the middle of the day? I'm currently in the process of trying to start my own company. So at the moment we're doing all the boring things you have to do before starting anything like that. So making spreadsheets about money predictions and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty boring stuff. But hopefully next year is when we plan to start it. So I'll probably be a bit more busy next year and probably actually have to stick to a proper schedule. But for now, I'm pretty free in that I can get everything done whenever I want, to be honest. What took you to China? So, to be honest, I finished university back in, oh god, what year was that? 2016, and I went to China to be a teacher. So I taught English for the first 2 years I was there, and then I taught maths for a few years after that. So yeah, and then during the COVID year, I got stuck back in England, and then I went back to China again. But that's when COVID got really bad in China. So I got the worst of COVID in England and then the worst of COVID in China, so not ideal. But yeah, it was quite nice living in China, but can't stay there forever really. It's not a perfect place, and I did end up sort of missing England. It's a good place when you're young and have all the energy in the world, you know. It's an exciting place to live, but not somewhere you want to live forever. Yeah, this trek has done quite well actually. I can't believe I've had it almost 2 years now. It's really held up well. Like, I don't need a new bike at all. This is fine for everything I do. I reckon I could continue on this bike forever, to be honest. Like, I go on the group rides with people with their fancy bikes and keep up with them just fine. I do think these expensive bikes are a bit of a con. Like, there's no good reason a bike should cost like £5,000 or something ridiculous. But I guess if people are willing to pay that, why wouldn't they charge it? Yes, 230 meters to go, we're getting there. Expensive bikes are not necessary. 100% agree. All about just having a massive quads. A lot of YouTube folk get carbon frames from YouTube and they look good for way less. Yeah. I think lots of them get them for free as well. And it's just a big advert really. Oh, you mean the China frames? Yeah. That's definitely a lot of free frames given out for sure. Because I got my carbon wheels for free by a company who wanted me to advertise them, and then I did, and then they kept breaking, and then I made a video about them breaking, and the woman who sent them to me was raging, and yeah, I was like, if you're going to send me something, at least answer my message when it breaks, don't just ignore me. Early, still 10 AM. Giant TCR Shimano 105. One of the cheaper bikes on many of these group rides. Yeah, I've heard good things about Giant. I think Giant and Canyon are the ones people say are the best value. And Specialized are expensive. But the thing about Canyon is, I'm not sure about like the service after, because it's all online, isn't it? So if something goes wrong, I'm not sure I'd want to deal with someone online. I'd rather just go to a shop. But to be honest, with most of the bike things, I think I could fix it myself. Like, if I never had to take this trek to a shop, I do all the servicing myself. Like, I've changed the group set on my own. And it's not that hard if you follow the instructions. But I guess if you don't have the time to do that, then you sort of have to send it to a bike shop, don't you? 22,000 kilometers. Bloody hell. That's a lot. How far have I ridden? I'm not sure how that compares. Strava. Yeah, that's a lot. This year I've only ridden 2,300. How have you done 22,000 kilometers? That's crazy. Had some issues with the rear hub. How much could you really expect riding in the winter outdoors? Yeah. Well, I would have thought, I mean, it can't be that hard to make a hub sealed, can it? I don't know, I'm no engineer. But I guess when you're paying expensive prices, you would have thought it'd be able to survive. But I guess when it gets more expensive, it gets more lightweight as well. So I guess it probably gets less durable the more expensive it is. So not ideal. 11,000 kilometers. That's a lot. $197 meters to go, getting towards the end. Getting a bit more snap in my legs. Might push it for the last 100 meters, see what I've got left. Giant PR2 wheels aren't the best races. Aluminium kind of budget. I guess if you're going out in the winter, you don't want to be using your expensive wheels anyway. That's what I need to do soon. Switch over from my nice wheels to my gravel wheels. In the UK, it's going to start chucking it down soon. Get on the gravel trails, embrace the winter. To be honest, at that point, I might as well just ride a mountain bike. I think I can see the end straight ahead, just around this big turn, then we're there. Super baseline giant TRC. I got the cheapest model here. It's crazy how little difference there is between the mid-tier one and the expensive one. They want like double the price. Right, here we go. I think this might be the final push. Getting there. I was looking at Specialized SL8, but those are ridiculous. I mean, they look really nice and apparently like the best bikes you can buy, but for £6,000, it better be. Upgrade the wheels, but opted for a power meter instead. Yeah, I think power meters is the way to go. That was the first upgrade I did on my bike as well. Was it? I think I changed the cassette first, but that's not really an upgrade, is it? But yeah, I swapped out the crankset for a power meter crankset, which is pretty good. That's something I got for free as well, but not to advertise on YouTube. A bike company reached out to me when I lived in China, and they asked me to be their model for one of their adverts, and in exchange they gave me a free power meter, which was quite nice. All I had to do was spend a day riding my bike while they filmed me. I don't know if the advert ever came out, but still, it was pretty good. Yeah, the power crank from Majin, that's the one I got. Actually, at the end of that, I ended up falling off my bike and I cut my leg. So I now have a scar on my leg from where I did that. That was a fun day. The strange things that happen in China, randomly being in an advert. I should really message them to see if it ever came out. Maybe I'm famous on Chinese cycling internet. Ooh, 150 meters. Final push. a good 900 calories burnt. Can't go wrong. Are you sponsored by anyone on YouTube? No, I am not. I've had a few companies reach out to me, but I feel like the whole sponsorship on YouTube is a bit weird. Like, not something I want to get involved with. Like, I don't want to be one of those YouTubers who just shill products in every video. I'd rather just pay for them myself and be able to be honest about it. Because the one time I did get something sent to me for free, it was rubbish, and I'd already said it was good, so I felt a bit guilty about that. A Vitus gravel bike. I have a Vitus, do I have a Vitus? I think I do, a mountain bike, a Vitus. I can't remember what brand my mountain bike is. But Vitus was the Wiggle brand, wasn't it, before they went under. So those were all really good value for a bit, weren't they? I remember mine was like £1,000 off or something. I actually can't wait to get on the mountain bike for winter. It's a bit more exciting. The only thing with my mountain bike is it doesn't have a power meter, so it's a bit annoying, but it doesn't really make much difference, does it? Alright, shall I give it some beans for the last bit of this climb, see what's in the legs after an hour and a half. Sad they are no more. Yeah, Wiggle were really good. I always liked that they gave you Haribo in the box whenever you bought something. But Wiggle are coming back, aren't they? I think I've read something about them. I'm going to have a look. Yeah, their website's up. I don't know if they've been bought out or what. But, strange. Oh, my legs are feeling quite numb. Just tired. Just a copy of the Evans website. Oh, fair enough, didn't know that. Bought out by Fraser Group. Ooh. What's the target was for giving it some beans at the end? Oh god, I'm not sure. Maybe 250. See what's left. Go now. All right, I'll go when there's 100 meters left. It's a nice round number. Can't start at 110. It's just a bit weird. Last section is flatter. Oh, okay. I guess this is quite good, really. Do a big endurance ride, see what's left after a lot of fatigue. God, it's almost been an hour and a half. God, it's flown by. Having the chat makes it go so much quicker. I'm sure you all know, like, doing indoor rides on your own is just boring, just mind-numbing. Alright, 104. 3 more meters and then I'll turn on the afterburners. All right, here we go. Oh no, my camera's died, and now I'm the side camera, that's weird. Why has it done that? Has it run out of battery? Huh. Glad it happened now rather than during a proper race. I'll have to have a look at that in a minute. Before I switch scene. Yeah, I don't have the technical know-how to even do that. Now I just have a second, well, the camera attached to my laptop just runs behind the main camera, because I did a stream a while back and I figured I need to have a backup camera because this one just sort of dies whenever it wants. $72 meters, almost there. Oh, I can't wait to eat my Scotch egg. It's been sitting in the fridge since yesterday. GoPro sponsoring coming, I wish. I bought a new camera recently because my Insta360 was dying, so I bought a new Insta360. It's the little one which, tiny one, you can take out of the main part of the camera and then like clip it to yourself. So maybe I'll get some cool POV shots. I used it for my 10k race and I just strapped it to my cap, so you can get some pretty cool shots from that. Speaking of which, that video comes out tomorrow at like 5. And then next week, I don't know what I'm going to do next week. I need to have a good think about what I can make for next week's video. But I did get a set of sunglasses and they have a little screen in them, so you can see your stats without looking down at your bike computer or your watch. They're pretty cool, to be honest, so I'm going to be making a review of that at some point. Alright, almost there. 2k to go. Good morning. Oh, still morning, just about 10:14. Hopefully I'll be able to finish this. Get inside, shower, breakfast by 11. Oh, we're going downhill. That explains a lot. Thought it was a bit easy. Final section, here we go. Right, let's leave it all out on the road. So just this downhill section, then one final bit of climb, then we're done. Hard to keep watts up going downhill, yeah, definitely. It's alright, almost at the uphill. Here we go. Oh no, I'm not gonna lie, my legs are done. I'm just gonna have to grind this out, I reckon. Almost at 18 meters, come on. Looks like a standing section. To right. Ah, there we go. That was fun. Average 197 watts. Just about right. I make it look easy. Yeah, it was pretty hard. Oh. Alright, that was not too bad at all. Can you tell me how to analyse zone 2? Basically, they say zone 2 is a pace where you can have a nice conversation. Pretty much. You know, you should just be able to talk pretty comfortably. And that's zone 2, they say. Whew. Alright, that's it really. I'm going to do a little spin until it starts going uphill again. So, not a nice conversation. It's supposed to be more like a strained conversation. I mentioned my weight progression a little bit, but I'm currently at, well, yesterday when I weighed myself I was 99.4, last week I was 100.3. But that was yesterday, and then today when I measured myself I was 100, so it's just all up and down, but the trend line is going down, so it's pretty good. A conversation with the other person, if on the phone, would know you're working out. So sort of like a strained conversation, I guess. I guess zone 1 would be a easy conversation. Interesting. I always thought it was like an easy conversation. Oh, fair enough. All right, let's see. Oh, spin it out a little bit. 115 beats per minute. And now we're going back uphill, so yeah, I reckon I'll call it here. Let's see. Can I not end the ride until... Oh, there it is. $20-minute power, 216, not bad at all. Alright, let's end. Alright, that's it everyone. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a good day. I'm gonna head off, have some breakfast. More like brunch at this point. So yeah, thanks all for watching. I will see you all... well, I have a video dropping tomorrow, but I'll see you all on the live stream next week for the Zwift Racing League. Alright, take care. Bye-bye.